It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is the Babies. Yeah, believe it or not, we're hearing the Babies right here on the Classic Metal Show. And that comes from there. I'll have some of that release. And the name of that tune is All I Want to Do. And all John Bisaha wants to do is talk to the guys at the Classic Metal Show. So what's going on, John?
I feel, that I really need to go sing that, with a more of a metal vibe, so you let me know, and I got it covered for you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, what is going on, John? How are you, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a busy last several months. We kicked off our Sweet 17 tour, which was named after an old Baby song, and kicked that off in February, March. Had a really strong April, and then since May we've been in the studio with this new record that we're getting ready to pop out probably in the next month or two.
Sure. Well, before we get to that, dude, let's back up a little bit. I personally have been I've told this story on the show before, and I've told it on Facebook and whatever, but I don't even know, I guess through Jen, your publicist, I got to know you, and I went to see the Babies last year, and went with apprehension, to be perfectly honest. I think I even told you that, at the time, is that, going to see the Babies after being away for so long just came with a lot of, what am I walking into? And you guys literally, I'm not saying it because you're on the phone, you guys kicked my ass personally with the best show I saw in 2016, man. It just was a ton of energy, loud, fun, powerful show, man. And I think you guys, my guess is you guys battle a lot of naysayers, and there's a lot of people that are just missing some great shows because they're playing the games instead of actually taking a chance because of songs that they used to like. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, absolutely. I've coined this analogy before. Other people have too, right? It's not really about the name on the back of the jersey. It's the name on the front, right? So we're all from the Babies. We're out to do, the best thing that we can do and the best shows that we do. But I tell you what, you're really right. I mean, we bring a big energy to the 70s and 80s music, right? So it's played with a lot more energy than is befitting, folks of that age, I guess you would say, right? So there's a lot, a lot of energy that we got. We bring a lot to it. I've got more of a rock voice and a power, ballad type of a voice, which kind of brings it there. But, we've got our ace in the hole really is our babettes, right? We've got two beautiful babettes that are out there jamming and singing. I mean, I think I talked to somebody, one of your friends today, said, really? They're coming out? What do they like? I'm like, just come out to see the girls, man. It's worth it just there. The songs are great. They beg to be played, right? We play them with 7 people on stage. And so that, I think, is where we hang our hat. We're not stripping anything down, and we're playing what the fans want to hear. So you're hearing 70s and 80s music play the shit out of it, to say it, today. And that's how we do it. We want to bring it every night.
Yeah, watch the language there, John. This is a family show. I mean, seriously,
say
the SHIT word, oh my God. Easy with the language.
The effing crap out of it. How's that? No, I'm sorry. My niece and nephew are probably listening, so I apologize back there. So anyway.
Hopefully they weren't listening before when I was dropping all my F-bombs earlier.
I think they've got a filter. Yeah.
Right. Nice. Well, John, keeping with that theme for a second, one of the things that, I think has maybe increased the rock sound of the band is not only yourself, but Joey as well, because he's, the two of you are more rock guys, than 70s guys. I mean, neither of you will ever be mistaken for members of the Eagles as much as you guys are rock players, no?
No, I'm with you on that. Joey would beg to differ a little bit. Joey would love to be in the Eagles. He likes that, the Americana stuff. But, our time when we came up was 80s and 90s, right? So there was a certain vibe. There was a certain, we just had a different energy, and we're still young enough to still be able to bring that energy, I think, which is really where it translates, right? So yeah, I think there is a rock side to it that really does that. And, we've added that dimension by adding Joey. There's now 2 guitars that are on stage. So back in the day, the only time anybody had a second guitar is if Jonathan Cain came out, and on a couple songs Michael Corby came out, and came out from behind the keyboards. But by and large, man, now that was Wally doing absolutely everything. So yeah, it's a much fuller sound, way bigger, and and again, the energy of what we play live. You can go to any 70s show today, 70s and 80s, and you go listen to it. You close your eyes, and wow, it sounds really, really good. And then you open your eyes and you go, okay, it sounds really, really good. There's a lot of bands out there that they sound great, but you know what? It's not the prettiest thing to see on stage. And I might be slamming some people, but I feel that hey, we've got that. You can go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to make you get on your feet. We're going to make you enjoy yourself. It's all about that interaction with the crowd, and by and large, the crowds are up and on their feet and having a great time with it. So we'll keep doing it.
Right. Now, John, talk a little bit about the new record that you guys are. Where are you? Are you done with it and you're looking to get it out, or what? I don't know really much about the record itself. So talk a little bit about the record, what you guys are doing, and when it's coming out, and et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. So, we've really, thought that we needed to have something that followed up. I'll have some of that. And, that was a whirlwind, deal. We did that album in 6 weeks. So from start to finish, mixing and mastering, it was, 18-hour days, and, woo, at the end of the day, it was like, God bless, Tony and everybody else, to be able to get that thing done. It was a Herculean effort. This we've taken a little bit of time on. And so over the past few years, we really need to have a calling card, if you will, for ourselves. We've now been out, we're not newly reformed. We've been out since 13. We had an album out in 14. So now, at the end of this year, I think it'll be 5 years for me in the band. So that's a long time, So we're really looking at, trying to kick the tires with how we're going to bring something, to the table that's got our calling card. And, and it's, while we want to work, it's a hard thing to do when you're socializing songs that were recorded in 1970, 1980. So and it's somebody else, right? So we don't want to misrepresent ourselves when somebody plays a sizzle reel or plays a song and thinking that when they're coming to a baby show that they're going to see John and or Jonathan or anybody else, because it surprises me to this day how many people still will ask, is Jonathan Cain in the band? Is John Wade in the band? Is Michael Corby back? And, that's like part and parcel, what are the real issues that we've been struggling with, and how do we reach the masses? So we're going to put our own stamp on this. So this new record is going to be a little bit of new and a little bit of old. So we've got a couple new songs that we're putting on it, but by and large, we're basically playing a lot of the songs off the anthology record, so pretty much all of the hits, and some deep cuts. So it's about 17 tracks in total. So it's going to be a nice mother of a record. And we've been in the studio since mid-May. So we're not done with it yet. We're in mix mode with a lot of things, but part of what you're giving me the ability to talk about in a bit lends to some fan experiences, and we're holding some things open for just that. So a lot of old stuff, which is going to be cool. But I tell you what, I'll play you some things, Chris. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Well, John, I know when I see the announcements for the Babies out on tour, the question that always comes into the back of my mind is, will I see Bobby Blotzer on drums? That's what I want to know.
Everybody's wondering if they'll ever see Bobby Blotzer on drums.
Yeah.
He's got his own problems to deal with right now.
Sure, absolutely. Well, John, in all serious though, you're an old school guy as far as being a musician is concerned, and one of the reoccurring themes that come up here on the show, especially when we talk to veteran musicians in this day and age of music not really having the value it used to. Does it make sense to make a full record these days?
For some people, probably not. Right? A lot of people today, even the machines right now, they go and they go a single at a time. Right? This was a unique opportunity for us to really go and put things down so that, we needed at least 5, 6, 7 songs, at least an EP to be able to go ahead and promote ourselves. There are a lot of bands that are from the 70s and 80s that are just doing the same thing. Ambrosia's doing it. There's others that have done it. But we felt, hey, while we're here, we've been playing these songs for the last 4 or 5 years. and they're pretty damn tight. So why don't we just go lay it out? You know, I actually, our rhythm tracks, Tony and myself, we laid all our stuff out, mapped it all out. We were done in 3 days,
right.
17 tracks.
Right.
So, you know, there was a little bit to that we really knew these things backwards and forwards. It wasn't anything that was organically regrown in the studio. We did grow one of the new songs that we're putting on the record. We did really put together in 30 minutes and then laid the whole thing out, which was cool. That was fun to get one organic tune out there. But everything else, yeah, we played this stuff in our sleep, so it was really cool to be able to do that. But yeah, I think you're right. You know, we were just offered a really unique opportunity to have the studio and enough time that would allow us to be able to do a full record, and so we jumped at that opportunity.
Sure, I guess if the opportunity presents itself to be able to record something and, you know, not break the bank in doing it, I guess that would be a good idea to do. But that's another thing for, you know, veteran bands that maybe aren't selling arenas but are still, you know, out on the tour circuit. As far as funding for a recording and, you know, getting it released and distributed and all that kind of other thing, that in itself is quite a hurdle.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. But yeah, you're right. I mean, to be able to put this together, it's a Herculean task, and it, you know, does cost money, and it does cost a lot of time, and it costs a lot of people. I mean, you know, if you remember the babies not only had, you know, the extras with the girls, but they also had, you know, ensembles, you know, string ensembles, and they had horn ensembles, you know, for a few of the tunes. So we brought all that back. So we've got all the pomp and circumstance, and everything comes at a cost. So yeah, you know, we're putting that all together, and at the end of the day, we're going to be doing a crowdsourcing campaign through PledgeMusic to be able to help kind of counterbalance what the mounting studio costs that are tallied up.
Sure. Now with that, you know, most of the PledgeMusics that I've seen, they come with the different layers where you donate this much and you can, you know, get a download or get a physical or get an autograph or get a symbol or whatnot. Are you guys doing that type of a thing, or?
Absolutely. So, I mean, it starts as low as, you know, digital downloads of everything with the digital CD booklet and all that stuff to print out, all the way up to, you know, private, you know, unplugged shows, you know, at your, you know, in your backyard. I mean, you know, everything and anything in between. But there's memorabilia stuff. So there's drumsticks and there's drum heads and there's bass guitars and there's guitars and, you know, there's, you know, of course, you know, shirts and hats and all that good stuff. But we're trying to do some fan experiences. You know, everybody knows the songs. So there's a lot of Babies fans that are out there that there are some iconic pieces in some of those songs, like in Midnight Rendezvous, the hand claps at the outro. You know, one of the fan experiences that we're putting into the Pledge campaign is just that. You know, come into the studio and do the clap, 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 clap with us as we lay that down to put that in. And then there's other things like, you know, songs like Head First, you know, where me and Baby, we're going out tonight. So one of the experiences would be have your own personal MP3 with your name, you know, so me and Judy, me and Holly, me and Chris, you know, we're going out tonight, you know, so doing things like that. All the way to having like a choir type of representation, you know, almost like a We Are the World on Back on My Feet Again. Bring everybody into the studio and soup to nuts, sing Back on My Feet Again, and, you know, it'll be your own personal, you know, MP3 with, you know, the actual recording of the song and, you know, have at it. But we're trying to get, you know, a blend of not only merchandise and, you know, memorabilia and all that good stuff, but experiences as well.
Sure. Now, John, I got to ask, and this is as somebody that has seen the band perform, and somebody that watches a shit ton of YouTube, why is it that the Babies today has not taken off the way that so many other bands that have replaced a member or two have? Because the songs, I mean, there's enough hits that people definitely remember, and, you know, being perfectly honest, if you watch a video of you singing a song versus John Waite singing the songs, there's no comparison where the better sound is. So I guess what I don't personally understand, I'm not asking you to shit talk John Waite, but I don't understand why this band has not picked up more profile when the evidence is out there on YouTube that you guys sound terrific. And every review that I've seen, as a fan that goes out and sees it and looks at it, has been extremely positive.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Chris. I don't think you'll ever really see a bad review. I don't, you know, I think we put on, you know, top, you know, notch shows. I think the problem is when the Babies left, MTV wasn't even really there yet, right? They'd just done their first music video. Like, I think it was She's My Girl, I think that they had done. So there really wasn't a video presence yet of MTV. And the people right now in this day and age, when you leave in 80, 81, you know, I joke that we had a longer nap than Rip Van Winkle, because truly that happened. But all those other bands that have retreaded, you know, and I won't call retreaded, some have reformed, some have replaced a singer. Like Kelly Hansen is a perfect person for Foreigner, right? Foreigner never really left, right? You know, Lou got sick, things happened. Everybody left in the early 90s when grunge and rap came. All of us classic rockers ceased to exist for 10 years. And then they came back in the late 90s, early 2000. And that's when, but the Babies didn't come back then. So everybody else, Foreigner, Boston, all of them have a 10, 15-year head start on getting back together. Styx, I remember when Styx reformed after Dennis DeYoung left and they got rid of him and they got Gowan to go replace him. They were playing, you know, gymnasiums, you know, and they were playing for, you know, 200 people. But that was 15 years ago. And now they're playing, you know, they're rocking out. They're on major tours, you know, and they're lifers to do it. You know, for me, I think it's, you know, we're that one step away. Just that one step away from somebody seeing it, somebody hearing about it, getting it to the right person. You know, if we ever get on the Fallon Show or the Kimmel Show where millions of people can see it, definitively right then and there you're done, you know, and that's when you can be seen by the masses. But we'll take it 500 to 10,000 people at a time at, you know, clubs and festivals. You know, at the end of the day, we're doing what we love doing. We're having a great time doing it. We'd love to be playing out more. And every year we play a little bit more. So it'll happen, but, you know, we might be 75 by then. So then we will be in wheelchairs, you know, and scooters getting up on stage.
Right. And dude, you're so right, too. And Neely can attest to this. Neely and I went and saw, it was Frampton, John Waite, and Journey on the first run with Steve Augeri singing for Journey. And we, you know, and this is Journey, who had, what they sell, 150 million records or whatever it is. And we saw them in a building that, it was like a 10,000 seat building, but they curtained off 2/3 of it, and it wasn't sold out at that. So it was maybe like 2,000 people. And that's Journey, John Waite, and Frampton. So you're just amazing. You know, but it's the same exact story that you're saying. It's, they went away for a while. And when they came back, it takes a long time, I guess, for people to really believe that it's good, for lack of a better term, you know?
Well, yeah, I think there is that. There's believe that it's good, believe that it's going to stick around. I mean, you know, we battled the first year with, well, great, you guys were gone for 35 years. You know, what makes us think that you're, you know, one show and done? You know, so we're still kicking it, you know, 4.5, 5 years into it. You know, we're not showing any signs of stopping, which is great. But yeah, that was the first hurdle we needed to fight. Then you're always fighting the John hurdle, or, you know, or people don't really, you know, it's really odd that they've been gone so long that all you need to hear is just the song, and it brings you right back, and you go, shoot, I didn't remember the Babies did that. You know, you either know Babies, Wait, or you know the songs, and more people we find know the songs. I mean, there's, you know, these songs are played still, 70s on 7, you know, 80s on 8, classic rewind. I'll hear 2, 3, 4 times a week a Babies tune, which is just amazing. You know, and occasionally you'll hear one of the DJs say, "Hey, they're back." You know, but you know, we need more people to do that. So appreciate the forum.
And why doesn't John just die off already? Just give you a fair shot at it. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you know, we're holding our own. He's got his, you know, he can do his thing. We'll do ours. You know, we have a good time with it. You know, I don't think either of us will say that, you know, I'm not here to bash John Waite. I love John Waite. That's why I love the Babies. I was a big fan of John Waite's. I'm still a big fan of John's. You know, so, you know, we'll always continue to say the right things, but secretly, yeah, we want to make sure that, you know, we're all doing okay.
Sure.
So, you know, that's my deal right now.
Now, if you had an opportunity to be like a direct support or on like a shed tour in the summer, who would you like to see the Babies get paired up with? Because, you know, oftentimes you see like REO and Styx go out together. They seem to be like a, you know, hand-in-hand package almost on a summertime tour. You see like Chicago and the Doobie Brothers, or you know people like that. So, you know, who would you like to see the Babies get paired up with for like a shed tour for a summertime run?
Well, I mean, you know, the easiest one that's really pretty much what drew everybody was Styx, Journey, and the Babies. You know, shoot, Jonathan come in, Ricky come in, And then, we've got, 2 ex-babies that are in there and just a new singer, and just having a good time, or we could do bad English tunes. It'd be fun. But yeah, I think Styx and Journey would be amazing. But, Cheap Trick, Alice Cooper, I'm so confident in what we're able to bring to the table. You get the tier 1 bands that are out there that are doing it day in and day out, and you've got these tier 2 bands. We're every bit as good as any top tier 2 band out there. We could hold our own and open for any tier 1 band and give them a good run and make sure that they had a good opening act.
Well, we feel the same way about the Classic Metal Show, but we certainly aren't pulling down Howard Stern money.
Yeah, true. We got to work on that.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Well, John, you were talking before about the Pledge Music campaign. Is that up yet, or where can people get involved?
It's not up yet. It should be up this week. So it went through the final approval stages and everything that will go in. If you go to Pledge Music, it's pledgemusic.com/projects/thebabies2, the number 2 for Anthology 2. So yeah, so that it's the Babies 2. But we'll have all the all the announcements made out. We'll have a press release that'll go out too to talk about it. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that we cover our costs, for the studio, which would be great, and making sure that all the people that put down and thrown down. We've had a great string ensemble came in, a great horn section. So we had the Soul Lips come in, who basically they've been Tower of Power guys forever. They've all played with Rod Stewart. So they played with us when we did Not Ready to Say Goodbye when we came back in early 2013. So a lot of good people. The whole string ensemble that we brought in. So you're hearing real strings for, Every Time I Think of You and Isn't It Time and the intro to Wrong or Right and all that good stuff. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So studio's top notch. We're laying everything down analog. So it's going to tape and then going digital, going out to tape and then back out. So you're going to get that friendly warmth and the friendly hiss that you've all been known to accustomed to hearing back in the 70s and 80s. So we're doing everything that we can to go ahead and make this, as great a project and as great a product as possible.
Well, John, I just want you to listen very closely. You know what that was?
It sounded like a vinyl record hitting or a rocket.
No, that was me. Sure. That was me tearing up the bill for your studio time tonight on the Classic Metal Show.
That's beautiful. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, so I will not charge you for the time that you've spent dominating the Classic Metal Show studio time.
Perfect. How about my waiver? Do I still need to sign that waiver?
Well, you still need to sign the waiver because I'm sure as fuck not going to pay for your music.
Perfect. You got it.
Well, John, real quick before we let you go, talk a little bit about the touring right now because you guys are out and about. Where are you guys going to be at, and where can people find tour dates?
Yeah, we're here at the end of the month, or actually the top of September. September 1st at the Canyon Club out here in Agoura Hills. Then we'll be at the Rose in Pasadena the next night on 9/2 in the Rose in Pasadena. Then we're playing on the stern of the USS Iowa out in San Pedro for Fleet Week. That's going to be a fun all-day gig on the 4th. That'll be Labor Day. And then hoping to finish out the studio and get all that stuff dialed in. And then we're out, I think, the end of September, 9:30, we're at the Token Lounge in Detroit. And then the following night, I believe we're in Cleveland, Ohio, where I get to meet you again.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
And then I think we've got a couple things back and forth in between that.
Very cool, man. Well, for people that don't know, the Babies website is thebabiesofficial.com. And John, always good talking to you, whether it's here or on Facebook, man. You are a pretty good dude. And why don't we wrap this up with another song from the I'll Have Some of That record? And why don't you tell us what song and maybe tell us a quick story about it to wrap this up?
Ah, cool. Okay, so you named all my favorite ones. Shoot. Oh my gosh! Okay, I'll give you two, and you can choose from. I love Uncivil War because it's such it's a sad song, and true Babies fans really can go ahead and read that one, and they know what they're getting in that song. And then Sunrise and Goodbyes is also just another cool, feel good. We brought the band back, kind of a gig. but this one kind of featured the Babettes right in the middle, and that one's a cool song. So either Sunrise and Goodbyes or Uncivil War would be great.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Sunrise Goodbyes.
All right.
Because Uncivil War is just too much for
That's another downer.
Just too much protesting going
no division.
on. Yeah.
Let's talk about the glory days.
Exactly. All right.
I appreciate the time, gents.
All right, John. We appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us here on the Classic Metal Show. This was a dream come true for Chris, and well, being Chris
and
has
for
been
you, not so much. I get it. Thanks for putting up with it.
You know, it is what it is, my friend. So
yeah, I can sing metal. Next time, I'm going to bring you metal too.
There you go. All right. Well, we're going to play Sunrise Goodbye. So goodbye, John.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Here it is. It's the Babies, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.